Well, you finally got your wish. Today, Dad starts his first ever rebuild. And we can only do it with one club, of course.
Of course, well, I'm not going to volunteer to do any other team, am I?
No.
I might do it further down the line. I might not. But this team is the team I'm definitely going to do it with.
So, we are here, day one. We haven't picked our tactic or anything yet. So, we're going to go through. We'll set all that up. And we'll let you know. So, we have set up what you would like as your tactic, Dad. So do you want to go through and kind of explain your thinking here?
Yeah, I mean, Harry Kane to me is not an out-and-out striker now. As much as he is probably their leading goal scorer for so many seasons, I think Harry Kane now, people who watches Harry Kane now play, that's his role now. I think the number 10 role properly. So let's stick a boy in front of him who we think is going to be very aggressive, who will push onto the defenders, can make them make mistakes. You can't ask for a better striker than that.
Charleston, yeah.
So I'm quite happy with them two up front. Song on the left hand side, he's good at anything really. So he does run a lot. So I've put him in that position. He will help me up front, but he'll also help me in the midfield as well.
Good
so I'm happy
ball
with
progressor, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Then you got the centre midfield and your right midfield, two players. I rate them two good signings this year, I think, that we've had. So I'm happy with them too. The right side of midfielder, definitely bombing down the right, giving Harry Kane the 1-2s. Harry Kane is so good at receiving that ball, the little delicate little fix that he gives and all that, or he holds on to the ball, then puts a ball through. Brilliant from our right midfielder to go through, or even Song on the other side.
Yeah.
And you've got to have that one midfield player just sit there in front of the defence.
The screen, the anchor role,
And you couldn't ask for a better player. I think he's probably been Spurs' best player for probably 2 seasons now.
Yeah.
He's been with us since he come from Southampton. Probably been more than that. Couldn't ask for a better player than doing that.
You could have Casemiro. But...
the only thing that annoys me with him sometimes is he gets the most amount of touches of a game, and it's because one player passed him and he just passes right back to him, and then he just moves to the pass him and he just passes, and it winds me up sometimes. But you can't ask for a better player to sit in front of your defence and just help them.
Yeah.
And he will put a foot in when you need him to as well. So, but my biggest problem, and I've always said to you, we are lethal going forward. We will be rubbish at the back, and my back four will show you that while I think we're lethal at the back.
Yeah.
Eric Dyer is gone.
Yeah.
Ben Davies is gone. That's my back four, preferably my back four that I would like to see play at this particular moment.
Yeah.
People might say, I'm putting Doherty in. Where's
Emerson Royale?
Emerson Royale. If you watch Emerson Royale play, he gives away silly free kicks.
Yeah.
When a player's out on the touchline, just jockey him. Just leave him out there. Let the players get in behind you. No, woof, right through. He gives a free kick, and we can see goals then.
Yeah.
So
out of this, you've picked this then, this kind of like a 4-4-2 with Harry Kane dropping off. What position are you looking to try and strengthen in this transfer window? Because you've got £26 million to start off with.
I'm going to go. I definitely want a really good central defender.
Yep.
Possibly to go with Romero.
Yep.
And I want a better goalkeeper.
So those are your two targets to begin with.
I've told you for years, that I do not like Lloris.
Hugo Lloris, yeah.
He is, I think, Spurs' weak point. And if you watch France in the World Cup, he did have a couple of good games, but every team who played against France, whenever they passed the ball back, they pressurised Lloris and he made mistakes.
Yeah, kicking the ball out of play instead.
That's what he does for Spurs. He makes silly mistakes when he's under pressure. He's not good with his feet.
Yeah.
He's a good reaction goalkeeper, but I don't think he's a good keeper. I know he won the World Cup.
Modern day goalkeeper.
And I know he got to the final of the World Cup, but for me, I just want something. Give me something better, and I think Spurs would be better for it.
Okay, well, we're at the very start of pre-season now, so we're going to go through, make some transfers, and we'll bring you back before the start of the season. Okay, first bit of business you've done, Dad. We've sold Eric Dyer, £36 million in total.
Well, I had to, didn't I? I've slagged him off all season so far. I said he's not very good for us.
Gone.
Bye-bye.
Real Madrid, of all clubs, have picked him up. Quite a lot of money as well. And he's not going to be the only one who might be leaving the door. Emerson Royale, we've accepted a £21 million bid for him as well.
Another player I've selected off. Bye-bye.
Yeah, which hopefully will give us a better transfer budget to bring in some players. Okay, so we got the Eric Dyer deal done. We also got the Emerson Royale deal done, £21 million. That gives you 94 transfers out.
Yep.
But we paid more than double in transfers in. First signing, and I think this might be a controversial one for the comment section, Kepa.
It's going to be, innit?
Arrizabalaga.
Yeah, I do like this keeper. He's a bit arrogant, but I like that. And I do think he is a good keeper. Chelsea brought in another good keeper. Did the manager not like him? I don't know. I thought he was a good keeper before he put everyone in. So
Graham Potter seems to like Kepa a little bit more than Mendy, isn't
That
it?
says a lot, doesn't it? So
Yeah.
I jumped at him.
Yeah, we seen his value and we went for him, and he's happy to be a backup as well. Dad liked the fact of that, and the fact that we'd only have to pay 13 million.
I mean, he would be my first choice, but we'll see as the game goes on, shall we?
Yeah, we looked through a lot of centre back options, as that was the secondary target of Dad's transfer summer that he wanted. And one guy, well, two players stood out, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, yeah.
The first guy stood out. However, they wanted £41 million, which was Robin Lenormand.
Yeah.
The other player was Nathan Ake, but because of Manchester City being a competitive rival, they then tried to take the mick out of Dad and asked for 61 million.
Not happened.
Dad said no, and we ended up going for Eric Garcia, and I think you actually negotiated quite a good deal there for around about £30 million for a very similar player to Ake, just right foot instead of left.
I like this player as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a good signing for us. Good, solid centre-back. And I think that's what we need.
And he's young as
All
well.
I want him to do, and that's even better, isn't it?
Yeah.
21. All I want him to do is just control that middle of the box.
Yeah.
And that's what he'll do for me.
Yeah, very good on the ball, and he has a great potential on the game as well.
Yeah.
For the price that you paid, just short of 30, very good. And that left us with around about £28 million left. You wanted to fill in that right back role where we sold Emerson Royale, and as soon as we looked at right backs, you went, let's have a look at Matty Cash, and that is who we ended up with.
I think
Matty Cash.
I think he's a good Aston Villa player. You know, if you watch the World Cup, showed you Mbappe was in his pocket.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And that was good enough for me.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a good player on the game.
But he's had a good start to the season, I think, and he is a good player. His work rate is tremendous. You've seen that in the World Cup. I think everybody's seen that. I do like him.
Yeah.
So, like you said, as soon as I seen him, I wanted him.
You were on it. £25 million, and he's only 24 years of age. So for the rebuild, it'll be very good.
Business, that.
Because Dad is building you a squad that you can get on the Mega Luke Patreon channel.
I didn't want anybody above 29, did I?
No, you did. Yeah, we set our targets. Now, as it turns out, we've come back on the first game of the season. So there might be more transfers yet, but we had to come back for the first game of the season because it's against Manchester United.
I can't believe it. You couldn't write this, could you?
Now, we've got a suspension for Richarlison, so this is Dad's first 11.
Gutted, yeah.
Yeah, so Son is going to play up front instead of the left.
The reason I've done that is because I wanted Harry Kane to stay in that position. I could have easily put Harry Kane up front and stay with a bit of formation than I had, but no, I want Harry Kane set in that position.
Yeah.
And he's probably going to be the only player that I'll say I definitely want in
that role the whole time.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll see how we get on the first game, and let's check it out. Okay, unfortunate. We have a 6th minute goal here by Bruno Fernandes, and that was the only goal of the game. We didn't even get a shot on target, unfortunately. We have got Heung-min Son coming back from an injury, so that could be our problem there. 3 bookings each. Thoughts, Dad?
Disappointed, but first game of the season, you just never know which way it's going to go, do you?
Yeah.
We're trying a couple of new players.
We're still working on the tactic as well.
Yeah.
Going fresh from a new tactic, so that's obviously going to play a part into it. Bringing in 3 brand new players into that first 11. Let's take a look at the goal and how it was scored by Bruno Fernandes. It was from an Eriksen free kick. Played all the way back post. We've got Jadon Sancho retrieving the ball. Back to Bruno Fernandes from that position. Fired in the bottom corner there. Well, we'll do the rest of the preseason and we'll join you just as we go to simulate the first season. Okay, so we've settled on this as our tactic and formation, and these are the positions that we're going to be locking in as much as possible throughout the season, because when we do pick 11, it doesn't give the choice that Dad wants in that row, and the rest of them can kind of rotate as need be, but we want Heung-min Son really in that role and Højbjerg in that role as much as possible. We have played a few more games, including a North London derby. Let's take a look at the results. Dad's seen them as it happened. We had a 3-0 win against Fulham, which obviously kicked us off at the start of the season there after that defeat to Man United. But that one,
Harry Kane always scores against Arsenal.
90th minute win.
Get in.
For Harry Kane and his Spurs. Unfortunately, we didn't follow it up.
Yeah, a bit disappointed with that result.
Yeah, after being 1-0 up as well.
Yeah.
88th minute, Jefferson Lerma. Richarlison.
My boy goes to Everton and scores at Everton.
Yeah, after Bentancur got himself sent off after 17 minutes.
See, to me, that is a good result. Everton are not an easy side to beat, but being down to 10 men as well.
Yeah.
And my boy goes back to Everton and scores against him, and I bet he loved it.
A very interesting Champions League. We have Real Madrid, Red Bull Salzburg, and Club Brugge.
Not an easy draw.
No. Do you expect to go through?
Of course.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, then, let's simulate Dad's first season as Tottenham Hotspur manager and see how we get on, if we still have a job. So your season result for the first season, a 5th place finish.
I'm happy with that one way and disappointed in another way.
That's exactly what I thought you would be like. So basically, I ran this season and then we left, and I had seen it, saved it, and this is Dad's first reaction to it. So
it's the Arsenal result.
That's what I thought you would be. I thought position-wise, you might be okay with that. It's just the clubs around you might not be.
I mean, I've missed out on the Champions League, but by missing out by Arsenal, same as what we've done to them this season. So
yeah, some big clubs gone down. Leeds and Crystal Palace. Maybe keep that in mind for players. For your season 2. Richarlison, you wanted him playing up front in that role. I think he's done you quite proud there with 26 goals. And Heung-min Sonny Boy, your favourite there with 12 assists. So that's quite good. Obviously, Erling Haaland run away with it there. They got 85 points. Now, we don't normally always look at it, but sometimes we do. I was quite curious to see your reaction to this, because at one stage you were in the top 4 for a long time, and it does look like at that stage it was Arsenal who was catching you, and then eventually overtook into that spot.
Bad start, though, didn't they?
They definitely did.
They were on the catch up all the way through.
That was the case. Yeah, we dropped down a little bit, and at the end of the season we've got a little bit better there. Other competitions though, we were in a Carabao Cup, obviously the next round, and we've got that FA Cup, which we all know you love. How have we done? Quarter-final, 4th round.
Do you know I'm really pleased with that though? Quarter-final of the Champions League.
Yeah.
You can't be disappointed with that.
Only knocked out by Liverpool.
The biggest disappointment is being knocked out by a British team.
Yeah, so Carabao Cup 4th round by Man City. Liverpool went on and won it in an
Man City.
In an all British final as well, or an English final there. So quite an interesting turn of events here.
I'll be honest with you, for my first season, I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Do you know what? I am surprised as well, because we haven't, the tactic, we've just built it, haven't we? We played around with it a little bit during pre-season, but that was basically it. So Harry Kane, this I thought is going to be your one disappointment. Not how many assists he got, because obviously it's hard to rectify, but maybe his performances in total, 23 goals and 8 assists.
Yeah, but the way I look at it is that the Premier League, good strikers are always in the 20s. We moved him from being the out-and-out striker back into play, so he's not going to be the out-and-out striker. So 23 goals from him, I'm still pleased with that.
That, though, was only 12 Premier League goals.
Right.
And 3 of them were, he took 3 penalties and scored 2 of them. Apparently he's prone to missing one every now and then. But that's it. Anyway, so Richarlison obviously is our top scorer with 30 there. We have a couple of players on 11. Kulusevski, of course, will be joining us as a permanent player. Heung-min Son with 11 and 13. I think you'll be quite pleased with that, with his performance and his output. We do have a few wanted signs. PSG in for Heung-min Son, who is 30. We've got a couple down here as well.
I was thinking about this last night actually, and I was just thinking, because we've improved the defence. I felt we brought a couple of players around there. I thought my next improvement place has got to be up front really, because Harry Kane, what's he now? 29 there.
Yeah, he's 29.
Heung-min Son 30. There's 2. What all classes our best players are going to be out of.
They're going to be needing replacement by the end of this
5-year plan. They're gone, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
So they're going to be my next sort of replacement of them too, really.
Well, before we skip to that part where we have done all that, transfer-wise, we do have £81 million. It's a good amount of money.
Yeah.
So we'll see what Dad can do.
Sell a couple of players as well. I mean, I've got 3 goalkeepers now. I only need 2.
Yep. Right.
We know who's going.
Let's see what happens in this pre-season then. One thing, by the way, we were just going in diving into what went wrong and what didn't go wrong. What went well was we actually eliminated Barcelona from the round of 16 in the Champions League before we got eliminated.
So that was down to a home win as well, wasn't it? So
yeah.
Always put it down to our home wins, didn't we?
We had some wacky results. We were just going over and looking at it then. There was a period where we lose 4-1 to Man City in the Cup, but then we beat Brentford 7-0, then beat Man City 3-1, but then we lose silly games like West Ham and Arsenal here. So that is our problem, really. There's a string of results around here where we lose to Southampton and Wolves get battered, but then we beat Newcastle and Chelsea the next month.
Yeah. I think we lost to Southampton twice, didn't we?
Yeah, so it's just some bad results there and there.
Oh no, that's just cost us that 4th spot, really. It's cost me, innit?
Yeah, Wolves done the double over us in the Premier League, and Villa did as well. So it's those types of games against the mid-table sides that we're not winning, whereas the big clubs, we are beating. But okay, that's something to rectify. Okay, so we have got to the start of the second season. Let's talk about the transfers that we have done this pre-season. Transfers out, Dad. We've got a couple going out here to PSV, both Sessegnon and Tanganga.
They were squad players, so I needed a bit of cash. I wanted to buy a couple of good players. So
Yeah.
I went through the squad, and there's a few there that was obviously getting to the age that I didn't want them to be in the team, as well as just squad players that I thought I might not use. So,
Absolutely. Joe Rodon was another one of that, another £13 million added to the pot.
Yeah.
And we actually sold Hugo Lloris as well on the
Yeah.
first day of July. He went to Real Sociedad, £2.5 million.
Anybody who knows me knows that's not going to be a surprise.
That is not a surprise, definitely not. And that was the only sells of the club, but we did bring in quite a few players. Now, let's talk about the big one.
Yeah.
It was our first one that we made, Tammy Abraham.
Do
What's
like
your
him.
thoughts?
He came up for sale. Well, he was interested in coming, so I had to go for him.
Yeah.
Good striker. Proved it in Italy the last season.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe that Roma took him
Yeah.
from Chelsea, so let's get him back in London.
Absolutely.
Working with Harry Kane, he's a big boy, isn't he?
Yeah, 25 years of age as well. That played a factor, didn't it? It's knowing that he would
Definitely,
be around for a
well,
long
when
time.
we were doing the transfers, when I said to you, I didn't want anybody above 29.
Yeah, he only played 22 games last season, but he did score 9 goals. He's got 2 for us so far in 4 appearances. £70 million is what we paid for him. It was a big chunk of your budget.
It was
But,
worth it, though, I think.
yeah, I think it was a good decision. The other signings that we made then. So we also brought in Jack Harrison. We
Well,
went
Leeds-
and looked at the relegated clubs. That's,
That's right.
what
Leeds
you wanted to do.
Leeds
wasn't
got relegated, and as soon as we found out that Leeds got relegated, he was one player that we earmarked that we sort of thought, let's see if we can get him.
it? Yeah,
And he was interested, so we got him.
yeah.
Good midfield
We
player.
fought off a couple of other Premier League players
gonna-
for his
he's
signature as well.
You got to have a good squad around you as well. He may not start every game, but he'll be there or thereabouts.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
The fact that he played on both wings also played a factor in your decision as
Oh, yeah,
well, didn't
definitely,
it?
yeah.
But we also managed to get another winger in Marcus Thuram on a free transfer.
When we seen it, we didn't believe it, did we? So we just offered him a contract, and he snapped us up.
Exactly. 6'4", the son of Lilian Thuram, can play up front as well as the left-hand side
And
as
that
a
was
natural
another reason why we took him as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And then the final signing was Matteo Gabbia. Obviously, Kulusevski was already at the club. That was already a done deal.
Yeah.
Gabbia from AC Milan.
We got 2 good central defenders at the moment,
Yeah.
but I wanted another one just in case one of them got injured.
Yeah,
And
he's very good.
As you know, and a lot of the viewers know, I always say it, I do like my Italian defenders.
Yep, definitely. So we went to AC Milan and we didn't offer them that much money, £10.5 million. I think you got a bit of a bargain there, to be fair. So we did spend quite a lot of money and we still had £9 million left, but we felt like the squad was good enough. We did try and get rid of a lot of the loan players coming in, but unfortunately, Ndombele is a player that just kept rejecting contracts, as we can see here for Fulham with mandatory fees in, so we couldn't get rid of him. Lo Celso is still at the club. We've got Reguilon and Udogi coming into the club, as well as the previous left backs that we already have. But Ben Davies has left on loan with a deal to go as a permanent deal as well, isn't it? So that's another one that'll be out the door. Right, now talk to me about your tactic, because Dad wanted to change the tactic, the shape.
Yeah.
We changed it certainly different up until the game before this. Results might have changed Dad's mind.
It did
as
a bit,
what
didn't it?
happened. Yeah.
I went for quite an attacking formation, didn't I? And I got hammered by Arsenal. So put me back in me seat back. So I've dropped Harry back into the same position again, because I did start him off as the main striker.
Yeah.
And with 2 players around him, so I've just gone for Abraham up front again, and we're going to put him on near post for corners,
Near post corners, yeah.
because of his height and that. So we've gone for him as our out and out striker with a high pressing tactic for him. Kane supplying him, and then I've sort of dropped it back at midfield a bit more.
Yeah.
And dropped my centre back, wide backs.
We dropped the defensive line.
Yeah, we
didn't
dropped that back a bit more.
Yeah. So originally we had these 2 up as wing backs higher, and we also had Kane as a secondary striker here. Well, in this centre, wasn't it, with Tammy Abraham on the right-hand side. It worked well for a couple of games, not so well in the last couple of games. So this is what we're going to go with the season 4. So let's take a look at the schedule then and see how it went. It worked very well for the Brentford game, a 4-1 victory
And
there.
all the friendlies we played as
all
well.
the friendlies did really well too. Yeah, Real Madrid 6-3 there.
Man City, well, it's going to be one of them that you think. I mean, we scored 2 goals. All right, one of them I think was an own goal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
4-2. I thought, well, all right, you take it. Then we had the Chelsea result, and we were happy with that.
Yeah, because it was only a penalty that we conceded as well, Lukaku.
But the Arsenal knocked me back a bit. I don't like losing against Arsenal, so hey, here we go.
Three away games was a little bit harsh, I felt, with those 3 games.
Yeah. But no, I've settled it down a bit. Hopefully we'll do well again. Quite happy with the Europa League draw as well. I'll be disappointed if we don't go through on that.
Definitely, Rennes, Partizan and Boleslav. We should go through with that. Yeah. So, let's see how we do. We're going to simulate Dad's second season as Spurs manager. Season number 2 and 4th place.
Are we 1 place higher?
Yeah.
Than the Arsenal.
Only just been overtaken as well by Man United there in 3rd place. So the tally actually is quite high. 75, and you had 3 losses in the last, and one of them was United, so that put them in striking range of you. And then the loss to Everton, where they've won a match,
so I could have come third in.
Yeah, but the top 5 would have guaranteed Champions League football anyway. It does look like Chelsea have won the Europa League, so it means that the English sides have had 6
That means I didn't win the Europa League.
You didn't. No, you didn't.
I was doing so well in the first couple of games that I've seen. We were doing so well.
So let's take a look. Oh, well, actually, before that, we'll go and have a look, see if we got any goal scorers or anything like that in the league. So we've got Tammy Abraham, 21. So he's only 2 behind Duvan Zapata, which is good. Heung-min Son got 16 assists. Harry Kane got 13. That's what you wanted to see, wasn't it?
Definitely, yeah.
So that's fantastic.
The biggest surprise there is Erling Haaland not being leading goal scorer.
Yeah, only 22.
Yeah.
I think last season he had like 40 odd, so
I think he did, yeah.
A massive drop off, and yet they still won the league as well by 5 points above Liverpool.
What was my goal difference?
Your goal difference says 28.
I watched the first couple of games that we've got to, because you've got to go up to the transfer window, and I was conceding a lot of goals.
Well, you scored the second highest, only 1 beyond Liverpool. But fewest conceded. I very much doubt you. Yeah, you're not even in the top 8.
I'm not going to be there nowhere near that.
So you're probably second now, 12th. So you're conceding more, but you're scoring a lot, and that's a good sign in a way, because you'd rather it be like that than like struggling to score.
I bought the players to do that, didn't I? And I set up the formation to do that as well. So
okay, competitions then. We probably know we haven't won Europa League. Quarter-final exit by Chelsea, but it was a 5th round
side.
Yeah, by Brighton.
That's bad.
In the FA Cup, 3rd round by Arsenal in the Carabao Cup. We'll look at statistics then before we kind of evaluate what we've got to do next season. We've got 37 goals from Tammy Abraham and 30 from Harry Kane.
Really pleased with that.
I think that's fantastic. I think, we can kind of say
69 goals by my 2 main
you've
strikers.
made a great decision there with the tactical change at the end of that pre-season, because we weren't getting those numbers beforehand.
Nowhere near
with them both up front. So dropping Harry Kane, I think, was a smart decision from you, because not only did he get 17 assists, but that 30 goal tally is high.
Yeah.
So that's really good for the tactic in that regard. But yeah, statistically, really good at an 18 as well. Heung-min Son, 14 and 24 assists.
12.
Yeah, so
5
really good
double
there.
figures. That's good.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's nearly for a team to win a league. You need that.
Yeah. So money-wise, then, what are they giving us next season? Let's take a look. £80 million again with a good wage budget. So that's good. We're losing Davinson Sanchez.
I'm going to be honest
with you
now. I'm happy with that, because I think I'm only 1 or 2 players away now.
I think you are as well.
We've bought wisely.
Yeah.
For the first 2 seasons. Now I've just got to buy certain positions and improve certain areas.
Yeah, and I think your squad's good enough now that you don't have to worry about filling in the substitute positions.
Bought quite a few young players as well, didn't we?
So I think now it's a case of improving the first 11.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. Okay, let's see what we do then across the summer. Right, Dad, what a transfer window we have just had. Let's start with the biggest shock, I think, for everybody. You sold Heung-min Son.
My favourite Spurs player as well, isn't it? Well, one of them, should I say. But he was 30.
Yeah, 32
well, 32 now. So cash in where you can, I think.
Yeah, and I think you did just that, because when we offered him out, there was 2 clubs that come in, Real Madrid and Barcelona. £40 million Real Madrid offered.
Couldn't turn it down, could I?
Couldn't turn it down.
When you think of the strikers that I bought last season, I've still got 2 good strikers with Harry Kane sat in the same position where Son could sit. So
yeah, and we actually removed the position that Heung-min Son can play, but we'll talk about that in a second when we look at the formation. Other players have gone out. Ben Davies, 17 million. That was a deal that was done last season. Jed Spence, an extra £7 million.
Didn't use him, did we? So
no. Ndombele, and I believe there was some more. Bryan Gill, £24 million was a really good deal.
He was one player I was in and out whether to keep because of his age as well, and he is a good player.
Yeah. But
I just didn't use him last season, and I thought, well, the way I look at it, it's a shame to keep him when I'm not using him. So
yeah,
let him go to 24 million and help me buy someone else that I really needed.
Exactly. So let's look at the players that come in there. Now, first off, we recognised we needed a backup goalkeeper, so we brought in Nathan Baxter.
Two reserve keepers will go in, so I needed one. Good young 25-year-old boy coming through.
Yeah.
No-brainer.
Homegrown as well, so that counts for something. And then you highlighted to me that you wanted to go for a better right back.
Yeah.
And we recognised one of the best on the game.
Yeah. I mean, at that price, was it 39 million?
Yeah.
I thought it was a giveaway, really, for that price. An outstanding right back. So,
yeah, an attacking one as well.
Yeah,
Pedro Porro.
In the formation I wanted to play, he fitted in perfect.
Yep, definitely.
Really pleased with getting him.
Then we went big, and you went for Jurrien Timber.
Yeah, this is my main position that I wanted to fit. That player that just sits in front of the back four, but also could drop into the back four. And you can see by his positions, he's a centre back, he's a defending midfield player, but he can also play right back as well.
Yeah.
Ideal squad player.
Well, £65 million from
player.
Ajax. Yeah. Really good deal. We almost got Enzo Fernandez. So that was your first target, wasn't it? As a CDM was Enzo Fernandez, because he was like £20 million cheaper.
Yeah.
But he rejected us and went to Liverpool instead.
I was a bit disappointed, but I'm happy with this one.
Definitely. He's younger, obviously, a little bit more better fitted to us. So that was the final signing in June. Then we moved over to July, and we recognized that you wanted to change formation and go with 3 at the back, which meant that we could potentially have a little bit of money left to go for another CDM. And that's why you went with Eduardo Camavinga.
Yeah, and he's solely just for that centre midfield area.
Yeah.
As you can see, his positions, he can be a proper centre midfield or the defending centre midfield.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted.
Absolutely.
Someone just to sit in that area and defend. I conceded too many goals last season.
Yeah.
I wanted to block it up a bit.
Well, let's look at what we changed to. So Dad guided me through what he wanted for the team to look like, and this is what we ended up with. So it's a 3 at the back.
2 hours of missed sleep off work tonight.
So it's kind of like a 3-5-2, but one dropping off.
Yeah.
And obviously in the 5, it's instead of wingers, it's wing backs, and we've got a defending one on one side, an attacking complete wing back on the other with Pedro Porro, because we know how good he is attacking.
Yep.
So, and obviously we got Harry Kane dropping off on the left hand side instead of the right last season. Ignore this, by the way. This is just the team that we had playing in the last game, because we've been picking the club, the players to play each time. It won't look like that when we simulate. But yeah, talk to me through the roles.
Well, I wanted to do the 5 defending players, really. So the 3 there at the back with the 2 wide boys and that centre defending midfielder right in front of my 3.
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring it in a bit narrower, but obviously, like you say, Perro going up the wing just to give a bit more support in the midfield. We watched the first couple of games up to the 31st of August, and I just noticed we were just conceding goals. We won a couple, but it was like 4-2, 4-3.
This was last season.
Yeah, last season. I wanted to get rid of that. So this is the formation I come up with. So I made it a bit more narrower, a bit more defensive, but we still got the 2 quick boys up front.
Yeah.
With a midfielder doing box-to-box work behind them.
Yeah.
So that was the idea I had, and it was getting the players in to do that role. I already had 2 centre defenders that I was really happy with, Garcia and Romero. Just needed another one to fit into there.
Yeah.
Like we say, Timber was the obvious choice.
Yeah, and what's good about the Timber sign is that he can play in that role perfectly. Yeah. And you've got Gabbia, who can then drop in at centre back.
Yeah.
So I think that's quite good. And if anyone during the during the start of the season that we've just had, we didn't have 2 midfielders for the first 3 games, did we? No. But we didn't feel like we were overrun with not being able to have enough players. We still had enough players. Yeah. So I think your squad depth is actually quite impressive here.
And what I was really happy with as well, the players I'm bringing in are still in their early 20s.
Yes.
So I've got rid of a couple of the older players. Or I didn't really want to get rid of them, but I had to. But brought in some really young players. So I'm building a good squad for whoever's going to take over from me.
Patreon members when they take over Dad's team. Okay, so schedule-wise then,
so we can
Liverpool,
see we've done really well up.
We didn't concede hardly any goals at all.
When you see Liverpool's results after that, that's a hell of a result for us.
Absolutely. Then a 1-0 against Southampton.
Didn't concede another goal.
2-0 against Newcastle.
Hell of a result at Newcastle. Didn't concede a goal.
Only bad result that we had here.
Didn't lose against Arsenal.
Out of it against Arsenal.
Oh, yeah. The one game I really wanted to win, but
the only game you actually conceded a goal in.
Yeah. So,
and then a 1-0 win against Bournemouth.
I'm happy to win 1-0 every game.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm quite happy to do the Arsenal role.
We also go to Heung-min Son because we play Real Madrid in the Champions League, as well as Atalanta, Juve, Dinamo, Leipzig, Ajax, so that's going to be a nice game for Timber, Dortmund and Slavia Prague.
I'll be disappointed if I don't get into the top
knockouts,
30,
the top 8.
Oh, top 8.
Right. Where you don't have to play the playoff role. Okay then, let's simulate this third season and see how we get on. Okay, third season. It's an 8th place finish.
No, I can't believe that. I felt so confident with that bloody team that we set up then. Seeing the first few results as well, not conceding very many goals. I thought I was going to do really well then.
I mean, there are some surprises in there. Leicester, Brentford, and obviously Newcastle have come into their own. We are 10 points away from them, and we're almost, I think, we're more than 10 points away from our total last season, which was 75. So we're 15 points away. That is a bad year, unfortunately, Dad.
Yeah.
60 points, 1 point off of some kind of European spots.
Surprised I didn't get sacked with that. I'm missing the European spot.
Well, I think your performance maybe in the last couple of seasons has actually saved yourself. Erling Haaland got 49 this year.
What a difference from last season, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. He's come out of nowhere there. Okay, and we got nobody above 20. That's a problem for us. Other competitions then, how have we done? It is a round of 16 by Arsenal. Again, it's an English club in the Champions League. 5th round by Birmingham. Semi-final of the Carabao Cup by Man United. That's poor. It does look like we finished in the top 8 as well, and Arsenal still eliminated us because I don't think if we look at the league phase, we are 2nd, only behind Sevilla in the Champions League. That's going to throw up some weird teams, I think, in this competition.
We have Real Madrid in that round as well, don't we? So we've done better than them as well.
We beat Real Madrid 3-0 away from home. 3-0. We beat Juventus 4-2. It's a very weird occasion. We lost to Borussia Dortmund 3-0 there, and we drew 0-0 with Atalanta.
Some good results in there, but disappointing season.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised at that Premier League because we started off quite well.
Yeah,
so
we did, didn't we?
I'm guessing then past positions. Did we drop off at some point? Okay. So it looks like mid-table, and then we just kind of just teetered off, and I guess just didn't really do much. Schedule-wise, will tell us a little bit more about it. So in December, we had a bit of a bad year. We had a couple of bad losses there in October against Leicester and Brentford, and then December. The end of December was quite bad, and start of January.
Southampton, Brentford, Leicester.
Yeah.
No, not Leicester, Man United.
Some bad results. Too many draws in February and March as well.
That's what cost me there.
Absolutely. Okay, let's see the goals then. So obviously we're not scoring as many as what we had before. Richarlison was the top scorer with 27. So it looks like Richarlison and Tammy Abraham rotated the starting 11 striker role.
Which is what I wanted them to do.
Nowhere near the amount of goals from Harry Kane or assists compared to what it was in the season before that. So that's not good.
No.
Money-wise, they are giving us 36 million. So it's a lot less than what we had previously.
I don't need to buy a lot of players, though.
Yeah.
1 or 2 players I think I need to buy.
Yeah, you're losing a left-back in Reguilon.
Possibly sell 1 or 2 players, and I'm afraid Harry Kane might be one of them.
Oh!
Already got it in my mind. Harry Kane might be one of them.
All right, okay then. Well, we'll do another pre-season, and we'll get back to you and see if Harry Kane is still wearing a Spurs shirt or not. It happened.
32.
32 years of age. We sold Harry Kane to PSG. I mean, he's on better wages there. He's 300k, but how much did we get for him? The question is. I actually think he did quite well. £75 million because he was on his last year of his contract.
Yeah, I mean, you got to take the money while it's there. 32 years of age, 75 million. I'd be silly not to take it.
Yeah.
You know, and I got 2 good strikers. I can find someone another good squad player now, or even 2 good squad players. That was my thinking at the time, but we'll see what I've done.
I actually think you've been really smart with us, to be fair. Okay, we actually had some other players who had left the club as well. So we also sold Pierre-Emile Højbjerg for £15 million.
He's a big workhorse in my midfield, and I really did question myself with doing this, but I just thought, well, he's another player getting to a little bit of age group as well. I've bought wisely in midfield, especially defending midfields. I think I've got 2 really good ones in at the moment. I could afford to lose him.
Yeah.
Because I knew where I was going.
Yes.
After this.
And Jack Harrison, £30 million you got for Jack Harrison.
Good money. Good money for what I'd
signed him for half the price and barely played him, and then sold him on for a double. You're a bit of a wheeler dealer.
He helped me out a couple of times when I needed him.
Yeah.
He just couldn't get into my team now because I've better players in there.
Yeah.
In the role that he was playing as well, I've just thought didn't really need him now.
All right, Del Boy. Let's take a look then. Now, the first big signing that we made, Josko Gvardiol.
Left back. That's where when we looked at my squad, especially my defending squad, picked picked up that my left back was probably my weakest position. He was good where he was, the player that I had in that position, but out of the 4, that was my weakest. He come up, I went for him.
Yeah.
Thought it was a good signing. Only 23 years of age again, buying youth.
Yeah,
through.
absolutely. And he can cover you in centre back as well.
Yeah, I never think of that as well, yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely got the pace, acceleration. Fantastic player. £55 million is actually a bargain. But your talisman signing of the season, it is Jude Bellingham. 90 million.
Just touched the get out clause. But see how we get on. He was a player I really, really wanted. So that was where we sold all the players to make up the money so we could afford to buy him. And we pinpointed it as soon as we seen him up for availability. I said, Jude and I, one player I want, that's the one player I wanted. So we hunted, sold, and got him.
Yeah, you did that. Definitely did that. So £90 million for his release clause. I still think it's actually a good signing, to be fair, because he is world class.
He'll go more than that, I think.
Yeah, he is world class in that midfield.
Yeah.
We signed him on for a good 5-year contract on a lot of wages. There was interest elsewhere, but we're the only club who made a move. Unlike Gvardiol, who Newcastle also bid, and we actually got the signing done.
Yeah, we offered him a little bit more wages than anybody wanted, just to make sure of that deal.
Yeah, and that wasn't even a lot of wages, by the way.
No,
that's only 115.
Yeah.
He only wanted 110. Dad offered him 5k more, and he said no to Newcastle and joined. You tell me whether this game's corrupt or not. So, tactically then, what have we done?
We've changed. My best season was my second season, was it?
Season 2, yeah.
Even though I conceded a few goals in that season, I just looked at my defence and thought, well, we had a better season playing that formation, and now I've got a much, much better defence. So we've gone back to that, and I think we're going to do well.
Yeah, so we're missing Harry Kane because he played a pivotal role in that shadow striker role, but we do have Dejan Kulusevski because Pedro Porro can fill in on the right. That's the one position we decided to change from inverted to a winger because that's what suits him. But this is what we're looking at, and when we select best 11, it actually picks Dad's favourite 11 other than these two switch around, so we decided not to even bother with it.
Nope.
So that's what we're going with.
Hey, if I think that it's my best team and my assistant thinks it's the best team, we're on the same wavelength.
I agree. So let's take a look at the game so far then, because we've had quite a fruitful time in the Premier League. A nice 2-1 victory against Wolves to kick things off with Christian Romero and Tammy Abraham. We seem to be getting a lot of red cards against us, which is good.
Yeah.
5-2 against Southampton. Tammy Abraham got 4 goals in total, taking his tally up to 5 so far.
Brilliant start for him.
Yeah. And then West Ham.
Look at this, look at my boy there.
Pedro Porro getting a hat-trick from right midfield. And none of them, because we watched all the goals, were from a set piece.
Nope.
They were all from open play, which is phenomenal.
When we watched it, Jude Bellingham just opened them up, didn't he, for us?
He did, yeah. He was very good. He got his 1 assist in that game there for Pedro Porro. And Tammy Abraham also got a nice little tap in, so he's on 6 goals there. Wickham, we fully rotated the side. Still 1-4-1.
Ready for the next game. I really wanted to win this next game.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Taking the lead 4 minutes in, Sandro Martinez, the best centre-back in the Premier League, in my opinion. He managed to get an equaliser. 1-1.
I'm happy with that, though.
Very good
really
start
happy
to the
with that.
season.
Good start. And the goal tally against isn't so much as what it was when we played that tactic last time.
No, but we're scoring a ton.
Yeah.
Which is good. So no European football to worry about or distract us.
Yeah, so
we can solely focus on the league and get back into the Champions League because a few of our players are quite unhappy we're not in it.
Yeah, they were. And that was a big thing with Jude Bellingham. We didn't think we were going to get him, did we?
Yeah.
Because of that.
Yeah.
But, hey, we got him.
He's here.
He's here.
And he's going to get us back into the Champions League.
I know the fans weren't happy with me selling
They were not. They were furious that you sold Harry Kane.
No, they were. They give me sticks and they sold.
Yeah.
But I think Jude Bellingham will be their number 1 now.
It softened the blow for sure.
Well, we give
sales
we
went
give him the
through
number
roof.
10 shirt as well.
We did. Okay, let's simulate this 4th season and see if we can get back into that Champions League. Okay, the result for season number 4. I don't know the result either.
Oh, get it!
I can't believe that. Now, genuinely, I said to Dad, I was like, when we simulated this season, I turned it off and I set it to autosave and I turned it off without even looking at the result. I can't believe it. I knew around about Christmas you were first at one point. That was the last time I had seen it, but I can't believe you carried on and went on and won it. That is ridiculous. Fair play. 91
Only
points
lost
as well.
5 games.
45 goals for Tammy Abraham.
Get in. What a buy, eh? What a buy.
He had the highest average rating, the most man of the matches by double as well. Richarlison's up there. He had 13 assists. You only lost 5 games. Man United, Arsenal, which I think we had seen. We're recording this a few days after Christmas, so it's been a while since we've seen it. Newcastle, a 4-0 loss, but I mean, we still went on and won 29 games. Won the league by 3 points, above Man United as well.
Oh, thank you.
Well, fair play. Take my hats off to you, Dad. I didn't expect you to do that. I really didn't.
Here we go. We tampered with the formation, but I just knew what players to get in.
Yeah.
I mean, we're recording this the day after Spurs drew with Brentford, 2 each.
Yeah.
Eric Dyer. Now you can understand why I had to get rid of him.
Yeah.
What a bad mistake he
And
made.
Højbjerg as well.
Well, yeah. I mean, alright, he scored the second goal, but
Yeah.
hey, we got rid of the players that I always said were doing Spurs no good at all. Got rid of them. Got better players in. There's your result.
There is your
Conte,
result.
take a look at that, my son.
Yeah, let's have a look. Well, have you done anything else in other competitions?
Come on, FA Cup.
Let's see. Semi-final of the FA Cup, semi-final of the Carabao Cup. Liverpool and Arsenal knocked you out.
I can take the Liverpool one, but not the Arsenal one.
Yeah, I mean, that was obviously without European football.
Yeah, I mean,
so we need to remember that.
That's a big help because
You had a huge advantage.
yeah, not playing during the week, so
But also on that, you are going to lose players if it weren't for the fact you guaranteed yourself Champions League football. You've gone on and won the league with it. So props to you. Transfer-wise, only been given 40 million next season.
it's going to be hard now because I ain't got many players I want to get rid of now.
No, that's it. It's going to be, that might be like one player.
Yeah.
So we'll see what we do season number 5, and we'll get back to you at the end of pre-season. Right, Dad, 2 players have left the club.
Yeah.
Oliver Skipp being one.
We didn't use him very much, so I thought we could get him out, generate a bit more money. We looked at our team that we're in, and I thought really was only one position I could do with strengthening, really, and that was the left striking attacker.
Yeah.
Not someone, Richarlison was good.
Yeah.
Someone else in as well, just to sort of strengthen up. But defence spoke for itself. We looked at defence really bad. It went really close, didn't we? And there was just nothing we could change with it. It was top striker.
We brought in Urian Timber and Gvardiol recently.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for a better defence than what we had. We've won the league with it. Why change it? We looked at it. We looked at changing it. The reserve keeper. That was what we looked at, really, weren't we?
Yeah.
But there was no one any better than what was there, wasn't it? Really?
No.
So generate a bit more money, and I was going for one player.
Yeah. So you sold Oliver Skipp. You also sold Marcus Thuram, who was your backup left-sided player, £19 million, again to generate, because we only had £40 million. That generated another, well, so we got to 80, which meant we went for Rafael Leao.
One player. What player to go for as well, eh?
Exactly. Probably the best left-sided midfielder outside of Mbappe on the
And
game.
it's not the only position he plays. So he is really a reserve striker.
Yeah.
Shadow striker, but mainly on the left-hand side, which is what we wanted. So I have 2 strong now left-sided strikers.
Yeah, and Richarlison is nearly 30.
And that was a
as
reason
well.
why,
That was another option that you mentioned.
So I brought in another youngest lad, 27.
Yeah,
Thinking of the future.
absolutely, for you Patreon members.
So what a team they're going to take over from me, eh?
God, yeah.
We've just won the Premier League, and look at the players we got in that squad now.
Yeah.
So,
Tammy Abraham has been missing injury-wise for the first 2 months of the season. So we've played quite a lot of games already, which has meant
5, didn't we?
Yeah, which has meant that we have been playing Rafael Leao as a striker.
Yep.
And he's been doing quite well there as well.
Last game hat trick.
Yeah.
5 games.
5 goals already there.
So.
So he's done very well in that position.
And he had a few man of the matches as well, didn't we? Look at
He
that as
did
well,
have a few man
So
matches as well.
We
Yeah.
couldn't ask for a better person to come in and take over from him.
No. So tactically, we're obviously not going to change tactic because Dad won the league last year. So we're still sticking with the season 2 tactic. That I think we've only made one alteration on the right there. So Tammy Abraham, we have locked in up front. And you were a little bit and then I reminded you, he did score 45 Premier League goals last year.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and that is his main position. So the other players that we got in, Rafael can go there
Rafael
anyway,
and Kulusevski,
and he can play the left side or striker. So where Tommy can't go anywhere else but there. So we've got to lock him in that position.
Exactly.
If he's not available, one of the other 2 are drop into that position, as you can see there. Look.
Yeah, because if we put best 11, he would put Richarlison up front, which is not necessarily what we want to happen, because even if Tammy Abraham's not available, we'd rather it be swapped around, wouldn't we? So we'd rather put Tammy Abraham up front in that selection there instead of Richarlison, and that would be what Dad considers his best 11 going forward, and I tend to agree with him. That defence has been very good for us. Let's take a look at some of the results, because I think we're going to be really happy with this. Now, we beat Liverpool in the Community Shield. It's a first for Tottenham. I said to Dad, I was like, do you know what this competition is? Because you've never been in it before.
No.
So we had to play Liverpool in the Community Shield, and we beat them 2-1 with an 89th minute winner. Enzo Fernandez, the player we tried to buy. but we didn't get. He did score against us. Then we went to the other side of Merseyside in the away game at their new
Disappointed with
stadium.
that game. I expected to win that one.
Yeah, we had a red card as well, and they scored right after, a minute later. But back to winning ways. 3-0 against Norwich.
Clean
This
sheet.
is a clean sheet, yep. Aston Villa, clean sheet, 2-0. But your biggest win, I think, was this.
Get in.
1-0. Now, you might think, why is it the biggest win? We restricted them to one shot and a 0.00 XG, which means the shot that they did take was probably like a halfway line clearance. And they never expected to actually score it, which I'll be honest, I've never seen a 0.0 XG. I've never seen it. I might have just had it, but never like took note of it, but I've never seen that. So you absolutely battered them, really. We even missed a penalty there. A lot of yellow cards, but it is a North London derby, and a 1-0 win. What a result that is. Then Rafael Leao then scored a hat-trick in a 3-1 away win.
Just those two games, to me, he is then a fans' hero. Scoring the only goal against Arsenal, and then next game, an hat-trick. He's all straight away a fans' hero.
And it's only Man City next. So
then Bayern Munich. Then Chelsea.
So there we go. That's a few and then West Ham, Man United. So few tricky games to come up. Now our Champions League, as we mentioned, is Bayern Munich, Leipzig, Dinamo Kiev, Shakhtar, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Sporting, and Monaco. Welcome back to the Champions League.
I'd still be disappointed if I don't go through the knockout stages.
Yeah, there are some really. I mean, you're playing against the three best outside of the Premier League.
There is our teams that are get, but I think the rest of the games that we got there, I think we could just scrape in. I think hopefully.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, we are the champions after all.
You are indeed.
With a defence that we've got.
Don't get too cocky because we've got one season left. And if you get sacked, it's going to be even more hilarious.
So what I really want is the FA Cup.
Yeah, I thought you would say that at some point. Right, okay then. Let's simulate this final season and see how Dad's last year as Tottenham manager gets on before you guys take over in the Patreon.
Come on.
Final season then. How have we done? Winners of the league again. By a mile as well, by the way. 83 points to 75, 8 points clear. That's huge. Didn't have a goal scorer.
Only lost 5 games again.
Yeah, Pedro Porro there with 12 assists is your main man there. 2 league titles in a row, Dad. And I got a little bit of a surprise for you. I brought you back maybe a little bit premature because we are about to play a Champions League final.
I've got the final as well.
Final. And you won the Carabao Cup. Won the Carabao Cup. You're knocked out of the FA Cup by Arsenal. But it is a Champions League final. And we're going to instant result it. So it's going to be a simulated Champions League final. But we will pick the team.
Mate,
so
I'm nervous as
yeah, we'll do that. Before we do that, actually, we'll take a look at how people have been performing. So 36 goals from Tammy Abraham. Rafael Leao got 18 with 13 assists. Jude Bellingham got 9 there. And Pedro Porro got 17. So nowhere near what it was last season in terms of like how many goals.
Played as a squad though, mate.
But you're still there. So let's take a look then at how we've been getting on. What I think is quite funny is the amount of 1-0s that you've got.
Yeah.
Look how many 1-0s there are. There's so many 1-0s. It's unbelievable.
It's all about keeping a clean sheet though, boy, isn't it?
Yeah, you had a bad spell around the mid-period here. So in December, you had quite a few losses here. Liverpool, Brighton.
Look further up though. Look at the
Barcelona,
nails all the way down through there.
So I actually had an accomplishment on Steam. You won me a Steam achievement because you got 10 clean sheets in a row, which I haven't done yet. So thank you very much for that Steam achievement, which was the Bayern game all the way down to Fulham, where you played the likes of Man City, Chelsea, Newcastle, and kept a clean sheet all the way through that. So that's quite funny. You had that one bad spell in December. That was it. You had a few losses here in January, but one of them was a cup semi-final, which you actually obviously progressed through and won. Which we can see is over there. The Man City game 3-2
again. They're like,
then back to greens.
Oh, we beat Man City 3-2.
3-2 in the final. You played Lazio in the knockout rounds. We defeated them. Then Juventus 1-1, 1-0. Barcelona, after losing to them earlier on in the season, 3-2. Then a 1-1.
Right, winning your own games, mate, innit?
Oh, yes. You had a bad end of the season as well. Few draws, no wins in 4 there.
Yeah.
Picked it up with a 1-0 win against Brentford. Obviously, you kind of already knew that you had won the league at that point, so we were fine. So, let's go ahead to the PSG game.
Because Harry
pick
Kane's
the
there,
team. You sold Harry Kane to PSG as well. It makes it even more interesting, doesn't it?
Ooh.
Let's find out.
Come on.
Right, Dad, let's pick your team then for this game.
Yeah.
Do you want to keep Tammy Abraham up front?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Okay, your left-hand side, you got Richarlison, Rafael Leao, Kulusevski.
Raphael got to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In the shadow striker role, what's your option? Kulusevski.
Yeah, he's my boy for there.
The right midfield, you got
Picks himself.
Pedro Porro.
Yeah, definitely. And Jude go into that position.
Jude Bellingham in the box-to-box midfielder role.
Yeah.
And then you got Camavinga or Basuma.
Who we got? PSG.
Camavinga has been your main starter there by the
Yeah.
looks of it. He's played 46 games.
Nope, stick with him.
Stick with him.
And to be honest, I think the defence talks for itself.
Yeah.
They've played so well all season, so...
You got Timber on the
Timbers,
right.
Yeah.
You got centre-back of Romero one side. Gvardiol is carrying a knock.
Right.
But he can still play.
Oh,
So he's back to full training tomorrow. And he's got the fitness to play a good 75 minutes. And then you got obviously Udogie at left back. So what you can do...
Udogie's going to go left back, isn't he?
Yeah. And then obviously Kepa in goal.
So who would I play centre back if I didn't want to play him the full game? Say I wanted full strength. Is it Garcia?
Garcia would be your guy, yeah.
How many times did he play for the season then?
So Garcia, he started 37 games and played 16 off the bench.
And he's fully fit.
Yes.
Garcia
over Josko Gvardiol.
How many times did he start?
Gvardiol is probably your main, because he's your main centre back. So
Yeah.
he started 43 games with 9 off the bench.
So when you say he can start fully training tomorrow, how long have we got? What's the
This
time?
is it now. You're literally picking the 11 to walk out.
Right, Garcia.
Garcia.
I don't. In a cup final, you can't play a player that's injured. I don't think.
All right. Okay then. Well, that's your lineup.
Yeah, go for it.
Here we go. We're going to simulate the match. We're not going to watch it. We're just going to simulate because that's how we've been doing it the whole time. Let's see how we get on.
Come on.
Oh, it's a 2-1 loss, and Harry Kane scored in the final from the penalty spot.
He never scores
And
penalties.
Kylian Mbappe also got the second. Should we take a look at the goals? So apparently Harry Kane does score penalties. Indeed.
Yeah, when he puts them in the corners.
Yeah. Now, statistically, again, you kept PSG very quiet. They only had 7 shots all game. We had 20, I believe. Tammy Abraham there from Pedro Porro's assist, which seemed to have happened quite a lot this season. But unfortunately, it was trying to clear your lines. Bellingham gets caught on the board. Jamal Musiala to Mbappe, who had the space, and nutmegs the keeper in the 52nd minute. And that was game over. As you can see, 7 shots to your 24. So you dominated the amount of attempts, and unfortunately, you did not lift the Champions League trophy. But a valiant effort getting to the final, and of course, 2 Premier League trophies.
I'm happy with that. I've won a cup. As much as I wanted to win the FA Cup and Arsenal knocked me out, I'm chuffed to bits with that, mate.
Yeah, I'm very surprised that you managed to do it that well,
Win the
considering
league twice.
you picked all of the players and you picked the shape of the tactic and the tactic itself. I'm rather proud of you, I must admit.
Yeah.
So this means I give the viewers, the Patreon members, a challenge after 5 years. Well, you got to keep winning the league, of course you have. You've also got to win that FA Cup for Dad. He didn't manage to do it himself. I'd like you to do it, and if you can... 320 million. I've never seen that much.
Ever. Do that all the time.
Never seen that much in my life. 320 million.
I'm going to put a challenge in as well. You got to win the league and the Champions
You
League.
got to win the lot. 320 million. I've never seen that before. That is huge.
With the squad that you've got, there's only 1 or 2 players you can go out there and buy to improve what we've got.
Yeah. Very
So,
true.
Buy Ray wisely.
Yeah, just fill the squad out now.
I did the last 2 seasons and look where it got us.
Unbelievable.
We won the league last 2 seasons. How many players did we buy in the last 2 seasons? 3 players.
3 players the last 2 seasons, and we promoted a youth prospect in when we sold Oliver Skip. So
buy Ray wisely.
yeah. Well, there you go. You finally got what you asked for. Dad did a rebuild, and he was actually really successful with it. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Smash a like, and of course subscribe if you haven't done so. And back to Monday, where I'll be taking over the reins again. And we're going to do one of my favourite clubs, Eintracht Frankfurt. So we'll see you then next week. Bye-bye.